Before I started working at Bat World Sanctuary, a little over a year ago, my idea of bats was like most people's. They all have rabies, bite you in your sleep, suck your blood, get caught in your hair, etc. After my experience with Bat World and doing further research, I've learned more about bats, how they are beneficial to our ecosystem, and about the general stigma surrounding them. Imagine a world without bats. There would be more mosquitoes, crops would suffer from loss of pollination, and ecosystems would lose vital contributors to its balance. Bats, often feared and misunderstood, are some of the most beneficial creatures on Earth. These mammals help control insect populations, pollinate plants, and disperse seeds. Rabies is not as common in bats as it may appear to be. Not every bat carries rabies. All mammals can contract and carry rabies. However, bats are not asymptomatic carriers of the disease. In reality, bats contract rabies far less than other animals. If you're awake and conscious, you will likely feel a bat bite because they feel like sharp needle jabs. According to the CDC, most people usually know when they have been bitten by a bat. You cannot catch rabies just by being near a bat. Rabies is nearly always transmitted through a bite. The principal source of rabies exposure from bats is through careless handling. According to CDC, people cannot get rabies from seeing a bat in an attic, in a cave, or at a distance. Now that we've covered rabies, let's move on to how bats benefit our planet. Bats are both an ecologically and economically valuable component of our natural environment. Insectivorous bats feed on a tremendous diversity of bugs, including pests that consume the crops we need to survive. Each bat is capable of eating a whopping 5,000 insects per night, and a lactating female will eat twice that amount. Insect control by bats keep down the prices of fruits and vegetables in the marketplace. Bats pollinate or disperse seeds of many valuable plants and trees, including wild banana, avocado, date, fig, mango, eucalyptus, and balsa wood, just to name a few. Some seeds will not sprout unless they have passed through the digestive tracts of a bat. Bats spread millions of seeds every year from the ripe fruit that they eat. Consider this: if your day includes soap, shampoo, cosmetics, a toothbrush and toothpaste, coffee, paper or ink, life-saving medicines, air fresheners, candles, chewing gum, you're not only involved with bats, you are dependent upon bats. Now that we've covered rabies and the benefits of bats in regard to our lives, finally we will talk about the different species of bats. Bats are the only flying mammals in the world, with over 1,200 species worldwide. Let's talk about a few. First, we have the hoary bat. Hoary bats are some of the largest bat species we have in the U.S., but they're still rather small. Hoary bats are tree bats, or foliage bats. They are migratory as well. Most bats can only have one pup per year, but hoary bats can have more because they have 4 mammary glands, rather than the typical 2 that people have. Next, we have the eastern red bat. Eastern red bats are the most abundant foliage roosting species in all of North America. They are typically solitary, meaning that you probably won't find them with large colonies. Their red coloring helps to camouflage and look like a leaf when they're hanging from a tree. They feed on moths, beetles, mosquitoes, etc. And they hibernate and migrate to warmer weather. Lastly, we have the Jamaican fruit bat, and they are huge pollinators. When they go and get fruit, they suck out all the juices and spit out the gulp on the ground, which typically has lots of seeds in it. Jamaican fruit bats have a lifespan of about 10 to 15 years, but at Bat World Sanctuary, they've lived to be about 26 years of age. They have nose leaves, which help with echolocation because they are nocturnal. To sum up these beautiful little mammals, we have learned about the truths behind the stigma around bats, how they benefit our lives, and about some of the different species. So, the next time you hear a flutter in the night or catch a glimpse of a bat overhead, remember, these creatures may not be as scary as they seem. In fact, they protect our crops, balance ecosystems, and help control pests like mosquitoes. Without bats, the world would be a much more difficult place to live for humans and nature alike. And remember never to handle a bat bare-handed. If you come into contact with a bat, call Bat World Sanctuary and use thick, puncture-proof gloves or a towel.